Good morning and welcome to the channel. If you're new, make sure to click that subscribe button. Today I am getting a new project. If you are new to the channel and don't know, a few months ago I rebuilt an F350. Link is below. Go check out the videos. I mean, it came together. I've been using it ever since. And since then I've been looking for a new project. So it is coming from Chicago. It should be here in 4 minutes. And let's go see what the driver's dropping off. Here comes a semi with a new project. All right, so here is the new project. So we're gonna see exactly how bad it is once I start getting it apart. So it's a 2018 Challenger Hellcat.
Hard.
Yeah.
I need a body shop too.
So to get the wheel straight, I'm gonna cut this reservoir really quick, just so it's out of the way. The new project is now here and unloaded. I had to have them unload it here. There's an issue, I guess, with the wreck. It is arcing the battery when we're trying to connect the power, so you couldn't steer it. Just unloaded it right here. I'm gonna pull most of the stuff off right here so I can get it steering and get all the whatever grounds and powers are grounding right now undone, so I could connect a battery back to it. Also, if you were the previous owner of this car, put a comment in the comment section below. I would like to get the red key for this car. It didn't come with the car, and I don't really want to spend, I think it's like 120 bucks to have it made. If I end up having this thing driving, I'll probably just spend the 120, but DM me or comment below and let me know. One thing I was really happy about, I was worried about it because I couldn't tell in the pictures because they take pictures more of the front. I knew the bag right here was popped, the bag up here was popped, and the dash bag was popped. I was hoping the seat bags weren't popped, and they aren't. So, the seats are very expensive, and without the airbag being blown in it, that is a plus because I don't have to spend $1,500 a seat to get new seats. And these seats are still really nice. Just because this car probably has, it has 1,200 miles on it. The tires still have the nipples and stuff on them. So whoever had this thing gave it probably one good rip and wrecked it into something. And yeah, so I'm gonna get to the main event to get this thing so I could steer it around and maybe start it up, is pull this core support, this crash bar off, and pretty much a lot of this stuff I'm gonna have to do it outside because of how it is hit. I can't turn it and put it in the garage right now, so I'll get it ready to get in the garage and then go from there, see exactly what's wrong with this thing. The fenders and radiators are pulled. I had to cut the crash bar because it was too far over to unbolt it. Those two bolts on that side I couldn't get to. The reason I did that was because there's a ground and a power that was crossing that went to the pump for the supercharger intercooler. I wanted to roll the windows up because the driver one's halfway down, passenger one's cracked, and I wanted to be closed from the elements. Since I did separate those wires, I was able to get power to the car without it. You know, every time I was trying to connect a battery, it was like sparking, and I didn't want to short anything out. So I did get it so it would power the car up, but for some reason it won't roll this window or the passenger window up, which is kind of strange. So I'm gonna have to diagnose that. It did take a hard hit in the front, a little bit harder than I thought it did. It doesn't look like it damaged anything on the engine. Well, okay, so relatively it didn't damage any major components. This time I can tell that the AC compressor is broken. I'm going to need a new tensioner, a new idler here, another idler here. It doesn't look like it messed with any of the supercharger stuff. It doesn't look like it touched it. I will need a new water neck. The alternator has a piece of plastic stuck in it. When this thing hit, the intake pretty much closed itself off instantly. So it probably, whatever RPM they're at, it just spun down, and that's probably how this thing got jammed. So I may get a new alternator if this doesn't come out. Also, I'm gonna look and make sure there isn't anything that needs to be replaced. Like this kind of looks like it may need to be replaced. I'll check that out and make sure it's straight, because I don't want to have any issues later on when I'm trying to rip this thing down the road. Another thing I didn't expect to be messed up, the pictures from the auction, it didn't look like it was this far pushed over. The good thing though is it did push it this way. It kind of looks like they slid into something sideways. The strut towers don't seem to be affected or moved at all. It does look like it, you know, it moved this over a little bit, but you can see it buckled right there. So I will replace these rails, the inner sheet metal right there. I'm gonna replace these rails down here. I'll replace the engine support or the K-member, whatever you want to call it. I need a new bar up here and new AC compressor, idlers, maybe a new fuse box. I will need a new coolant line for the intercooler for the supercharger. Also, I need the radiators, both radiators, and all the surrounding plastic, headlights, the grill. It looks like this guy was a contractor. I opened the trunk and it had a bunch of doorknobs for the house or houses, and you know, the brakes, everything other than that looks very, very clean. And you know, it doesn't look like it only has 1,200 miles. So I mean, this guy didn't have to have it too long to rip it. And the good thing is the key is in the glove box for the wheels. Another good thing is the seats, like I said before, aren't popped. Those things are very expensive. The dash is like $1,000, but I mean, I don't have to buy $3,000 worth of seats, which is good. Another good thing is the wheels aren't destroyed. The tires are still good. You know, I'm very surprised that the overflow bottle for the radiator wasn't cracked. This air box, I'll get an aftermarket one probably and get rid of that. Still have it ram aired through the headlight though. And I need a new water pump for the intercooler, pretty much all the hoses for that. I need a new fender liner for the other side. This one seems like it's decent, and pretty much everything from the doors back look like they're okay, other than the airbags. Look at those subs. I didn't know this thing had subwoofers in it. The battery is completely dead, so I am going to pull it really quick and throw it on the charger. So this little packet wasn't open. I'm going to open it and see if there's actually a
fuse box diagram so I could figure out what's up with the windows. On the fuse box diagram for the engine bay, there's also one by the battery. I'm gonna check that out. Since the wipers are halfway up, I'm gonna check the wiper motor. There's 30 amp pink. I'll just go through this, make sure that all the fuses are good, and kind of try to figure out why those windows won't go back up. They go down, and every time you open the door, they kind of crack a little bit, but for some reason they won't go up.
Stupid me, I figured out the reason the windows weren't rolling up. You literally just have to have the door closed. I guess that's a thing. So if you have your door open, your windows won't roll up. It's kind of weird. They roll down though. And then it should crack. Hell yeah. Hey, come look at it. Why not?
It's totally destroyed.
What do you think about it?
It's awful.
Why?
Because it's totally destroyed.
You didn't even look at it though.
Oh, you funny.
Yeah. What do you think of this?
I think it's totally destroyed.
What do you think about my truck though when you first saw it?
I don't know.
Look inside. This door though, because that one doesn't have power. No, open it. Open it. Smell it.
No, I don't want to.
Yeah.
No.
It has 1,200 miles on it.
Well, I guess you'll fix it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
You want to ride in it?
No,
Why?
because it doesn't drive.
No, when I fix it.
Well, once you fix it, we'll talk about it.
Okay. Well, there won't be any talking. You'll just come for a ride. Got the Challenger up in the driveway. Since I was kind of all by myself, I just used the F350 and kind of half set the parking brake because I had to kind of go down that hill over there, and then once I was coming up, it really didn't matter, but I just left it half set, and that gave it enough tension so it wouldn't roll back, and I got it all done by myself. I want to definitely get all this you know, grime off the engine and stuff. It's been sitting out at the auction probably for almost a year, and I'll give it a nice pressure wash. I'll do the decon on the wheels and the brakes, and now I'll kind of just put it in the garage. But you can see how nice that paint is. It like doesn't even have any swirls or anything in it. It's not even clean. So I'm going to do that, and then once I get it into the garage, I'm going to put it in the garage until I get parts, and once I get parts, I'm probably gonna end up taking it over to the junkyard. I wasn't planning on it because I didn't think I had to pull the engine and tranny, but since I do have to pull the engine and tranny, since the cradle is bent and the whole frame is tweaked over, you know, that'll be the easiest option. Just go over there, pull the engine and tranny, then I could draw out all spot welds, get this thing pretty much a shell in the front, and then once that's done, I could get all the new sheet metal, weld it in, and then paint it, and then I could put the engine and tranny back in, and it should be good to go. So I'm waiting on a company to get back to me on all the parts. I've contacted a few companies, so we'll see what happens with that.
Just finished cleaning the car and it is really nice from the doors back. There are a few scratches. I mean, that's what is to be expected when buying a car from the auction. They sit there for almost a year. And the one thing I'm really happy about is that there isn't any dings on the doors or the quarters or anything like that. That makes me really happy. There is these little scratches right there. Those may come out with a buff and everything. And then there's like some scratches where people's fingernails, you know, a lot of people just like to ram their hands in there. But I mean, you just need don't be angry when you open your door, just open it. So clean the car, it's nice and clean. I noticed when I cleaned this tire that has a little bit of stuff going on right there. Looks like something hit it. And it's probably all right. I'll probably, you know, put them on the back and, you know, bake them. But other than that, up here, I sprayed the supercharger and all this stuff down and pressure washed it. It was kind of grimy and dirty. The hood was bent, so it had a lot of stuff sitting in it. Also, this fuse box, I think there's an issue with it. The thing I think is wrong with it is that the hood was bent and there was no cover on it. It was broken. So I think it has a lot of water in it. I may get another one. We'll see what happens with that. Trevor, Ty, and Blake came over and helped me push this heavy beast in the garage. I just got done ordering the oil cooler, the lines, the oil cooler ducting, and the bracket for it. I need to put that on there and then I will fire this bad boy up and make sure everything is okay. Now that it is in the garage, I'm going to clean the interior up. I cleaned the exterior, just got done cleaning the exterior, and I want to get the interior pretty much, you know, relatively clean. It looks like the guy was drinking a cup of coffee when he wrecked this thing, so I want to get it all nice and not, you know, not a bunch of coffee and stuff around and on the steering wheel and on everything. I will have to pull the dash anyway, so that really doesn't matter. And the seats are relatively clean, so I will vacuum those out. Just finished cleaning all the random stuff that they threw in the car after it was wrecked and out of the trunk. Then I vacuumed it, so that is nice and clean, which is a plus. I pulled the battery out because that thing's cached, so I need to go get a new one of those. I also detailed the interior, which is really nice now. So it wasn't that horrible, but there was some coffee. It looked like the guy had a cup of coffee when he wrecked the car and it just kind of went everywhere. The good thing, it was pretty light, so it was pretty easy to get everything cleaned up, and you can definitely tell how nice the seats are and how nice the interior is. I did order a new dash, so I will replace the dash when I do the airbags, and the interior will be very, very nice. Almost look brand new. That is the end of this episode of the Hellcat rebuild. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Give me a comment below what you think of the project. Also, if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. And hope you guys like the episodes. See you next time.